Hi, this is Doug from Fuzzy Monkey Coffee. Today we're going to be doing a pour over, give you a little bit of insight and instruction on how to do one. There's a lot of variables involved from the amount of water, amount of coffee. You just ultimately you just need to work with it and experiment a little bit till you get the ratio that you like. The ratio I'm doing today is about a 1 in 15. We're doing about zero point 0.9 grams of coffee to about 380 grams of water. That translates into about roughly 25 ounces of coffee and about 380 ounces of water. So I already have the filter in here. This is a number 2 filter. You pre-wet these with some hot water just to ensure that the filter doesn't suck up all the water as you're pouring it over the coffee. Um, this is the station we use for our events. Um, Works really well, just a homemade guy. But this sits up there, and then but I'm just going to do it on here today. So we're doing our Costa Rican squirrel monkey coffee today. I already had that weighed out, so I'm just going to dump it in there. They said it's about 26-ish grams, zero point 0.9 ounces roughly. And then we're going to got the water preheated in our electric kettle. If you don't have one of these, it's a good investment. You can get it up to temperature. The pour over kettle works really well. It's really a necessity when you're doing pour overs. You can control the flow. Um, and the scale I'm using today is a scale designed specifically for pour overs. You can use it for other stuff as well, but so it has the weight, but it also has a timer because you really want to time the pouring of the water. So we're going to start with an emulsion of the coffee grounds with the water. Water I'm using today is about 200 degrees. You can go 190, 200, 205. It just depends on the coffee you're using and what flavor you get out of it. Each temperature in one you like the best, basically. So this scale has a timer on it, and what I'm going to do is do the initial immersion of the grounds, and then I'm going to start. You want to let that go for about 30 seconds. That allows the coffee to absorb the water for the first, and it takes up to 3 minutes, 3.5 minutes. All depends on how quickly you pour it and how fast it ultimately goes through the filter into the mug. So we're 30 seconds there. I'm just going to keep pouring, and you'll see that when you're using fresh roasted coffee, there's a nice bloom that comes up. Yeah, so this is helping the gases escape. Helps with the flavor of the coffee ultimately. And I'm about halfway through the water right now, and we're about halfway through the cycle. And you just keep pouring. It slowly goes down through. The initial pour of the water, whenever you're going in, I like to start on the outside and work my way in. It just keeps the coffee grounds from clinging too much to the side. If you started in the center, water would push the grounds out. So you kind of want to just work with it. There's no specific way to do it or single way of doing it, I should say. You just you'll work it out. Another nice aspect of doing these pour overs is the scent, the smell that you get of this. Especially dealing with a fresh roasted coffee like we have, um, really smells good. So I've got all the water poured. We're at about a little over 2.5 minutes. So by the time that finishes, we should be in the 3 minute to the 3.5 minute range. And then plus you can hear it um, dripping into the cup. So there's a lot of different styles of these pour overs. You can get complete kits that where you have the top filter portion, and they come with their own vessel to pour into. Those are nice. I just typically use one that I pour right into my travel mug or coffee cup, whatever. It doesn't really matter. There's also pour overs that have vessels up on top that have marked lines for the amount of liquid you want to put in. So you can just fill them up with that amount of water, put the cover on so the heat doesn't escape, and just let that run down through. And I've used those before, and they're timed pretty precisely. They finish up. If you put 12 ounces of water in, they'll finish up in about 3.5 minutes. So they work pretty well. This is a nice one. Simple. I like it, but I have a couple different ones that we can use. So just look around, see what you find. I don't think there's any one that some might be better than others, just the way they're designed on the inside for the water to filter down through. I haven't used all of them, but all right. So we're pretty much done. The coffee grounds are nice and wet. So we were at about 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes in that range somewhere. And you can also experiment with different grind in your coffee. You can go finer, you can go coarser, and that will actually change the flavor. I shouldn't say the flavor. It might change like the bitterness or lack thereof in the coffee, because the coarser you go, the less water contact with the actual granules of coffee grounds, and so that's something else you can test as well. Just gonna set that over there, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Like I said, the electric kettle is priceless. If you want to do this, these will heat water up in 5 minutes or less, depending on how much you put in the kettle. These scales, you can find these. I think I paid maybe $25 for this one. They're nice because they have the timer on it. They work in grams, they work in ounces, so you can really work in whatever system you would like. This particular scale I have here, picked up on Amazon. It's a Coffee Gator. One of the reasons I picked this brand up is we actually have their canisters they're designed specifically for coffee. They have valves built into the canisters, which is really nice. But yeah, I mean, any of this scale that you see, all of them are going to have that same look where they're going to have scale part and a digital down here, and there'll be buttons for the timer. They change the weight. So this is a pretty nice one. Like I said, they're not real expensive. So, and just enjoy your cup of coffee after that.